Two neighbors have handled the same difficult customer very differently. Mexico swallowed U.S. President Donald Trump's insults, negotiated and preserved most of its access to the U.S. market. Canada answered Trump with public displays of defiance and now faces new tariffs. Mexico received worse insults. In January, Trump called Mexico a narco state and promised a military incursion. He renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America and revived the border wall. But Mexico kept negotiating. It concluded its third round of bilateral talks with Washington in late July, with a fourth round set for September. Some 85% of Mexican exports still enter the U.S. tariff-free. By comparison, Canada faced Trump's taunts about becoming the 51st state but was late to engage in formal negotiations. Canada became the first ever target of Section 338 of the Tariff Act of 1930. Canadian exporters to the U.S. were set to face a 50% duty on August 19th on roughly $20 billion U.S. in dairy, alcohol, and hundreds of other tariff lines. This was delayed on the brink of implementation. The country that swallowed the crudest insults kept the market. The country that performed its outrage got the tariff. Mexico remained calm and gave Washington something it wanted. President Claudia Sheinbaum sent 10,000 National Guard troops to the border in February 2025. Her government handed 29 cartel capos to American justice in a single night and 26 more in August. Mexico paid in its cheapest currency, security cooperation it wanted anyway against murderous cartels. Canada paid in its most expensive currency, taxing its own consumers through counter tariffs, then surrendered real concessions free of charge. Canada's tax on large digital companies died in a weekend. Most Canadian counter tariffs quietly came off last September, all in vain. One country transacted. The other performed patriotic indignation, then paid for it. Ideology does not explain the difference. Sheinbaum belongs to Morena, a left-wing party. Her government managed economic growth of just 0.6% last year while accumulating record debt. Canada's Liberals doubled the federal debt and presided over what the Royal Bank calls the largest capital exodus in Canadian history. More than $1 trillion left Canada between 2015 and 2024. The real difference is political. Sheinbaum does not need confrontation with Trump to sustain herself at home. Her approval rating is high. Her coalition holds a lower house supermajority, and her voters are tied to the American economy through remittances and factory work. She corrects Trump at her daily press conference, then sends Mexican Economy Secretary Marcelo Ebrard to Washington. The restraint costs her little politically and buys her commercial advantage. By contrast, Prime Minister Mark Carney owes his political success to an anti-Trump, elbows-up sentiment it promoted and supported. A mandate built on confrontation must be serviced with confrontation. That meant auto-counter tariffs and provincial liquor boards removing American alcohol from their shelves. Washington later cited those measures to justify Section 338. One government in Canada did behave like Mexico, and it sits in Edmonton. Alberta paused American liquor purchases in March 2025, and by June became the first province to restore them. When the 50% threat landed this month, Premier Danielle Smith declined to repeat the theater, telling Albertans the approach has got to be measured and calm. Carney pulled the other way, asking provinces to keep American alcohol off the shelves. None of this argues for capitulation. Restraint and surrender differ. Mexico did not simply give Trump what he wanted. It calculated what Washington valued, conceded where doing so also served Mexican interests, and kept negotiating. Canada can do the same. A serious strategy would stop the performances and pay in the cheapest currencies Washington values: continental defense, Arctic security, critical minerals, and alignment on China, each something Canada needs anyway. It should also dismantle the internal protectionism that gives Washington ammunition. Dairy belongs to Ottawa, liquor belongs to the provinces. That requires federal-provincial discipline, so far absent. The alternative is to confuse displays of national defiance with successful negotiation. The mature nationalist swallows the insult and keeps the market. The performing nationalist returns the insult and loses it.
Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel.